Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of 1990's Represent. We're wrapping up our second cycle of 1997 with a video game. In this episode, we're talking about Final Fantasy VII. Definitely one of the more iconic games of the decade, one of the more iconic games in the Final Fantasy series. Um, Definitely in my top three for Final Fantasy games. I think my favorite, though, is still probably going to be six or three or six, whatever you want to go with. But I think six first, and then this, and probably 10 right after that. Seven and 10 kind of interchange where they sit in my rankings. I really liked the sphere like grid system in 10, and I really also like 10 too, but I didn't love that they went back to a traditional just XP leveling system. The leveling system in Final Fantasy X I thought was really unique with like the sphere grid and all that, and they just went back to a kind of standard system after that one. Enjoyed both, but 7 is definitely up there as one of my favorites. Got some notes here about it. We're going to go through those, and then of course we're going to do some gameplay. We'll be playing on the Steam version of the game. I actually own this game, I want to say at least 3 times. So I didn't have a PS1 initially. I didn't really get to do any PS1 gaming of my own until I got a PS2 until 2001. So before that, I was just buying PS1 games, just using, I think it was called Connectix Virtual Game Station to play PlayStation 1 games. It's a pretty good emulator for the time. This is like very like late 90s, early 2000s that I was using this. Probably early, I would say probably was like year 2000 or so. But would, buy PS1 games and play them through that emulator. Eventually did it with keyboard at first, and then got a USB to PlayStation adapter, controller adapter, and then did that for a while, and then eventually got a PS1 around the time Metal Gear Solid 2 came out, because that was kind of one of the games I really wanted that system for. It was kind of the game that initially got me to buy a PS2 was Metal Gear Solid 2, even though the first game I played on it, or bought for it, was GTA 3. But PS2 had, the backward compatibility with PS1, so I went back and then was doing all the PS1 gaming on that. Picked up Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VIII, Final Fantasy IX, around that time, and played just a ton of those on the PS2. And then like I said, so I owned it on PS1, or a PS1 copy of it. I own it on Steam, and then I've also bought it on Switch as well. But let's get through these notes, and then we will get into our gameplay here. So, Final Fantasy VII, we're just going off the North American release here. Released September 7th, 1997. Was released like back in January of that year in Japan. But February 7th, or not February, September 7th, 1997 was the release date, at least in North America. After this game, or from this game forward, the North American releases had the same numbering system as the Japanese releases, because like a lot of the Japanese, like for example, Final Fantasy 3 came out in the United States, and that's actually Final Fantasy 6. I think like 2 is like 4, and so on. They've since have gone out, and I think they've re-released a lot of those earlier games that weren't released on various systems. I know Steam has some of them. But Final Fantasy VII forward, they went with the Japanese numbering system. Apparently, development started on this on the SNES back in 1994. But the SNES had very limited capabilities for what Square wanted to do. They tried it on various other systems and eventually decided to go with PlayStation to make use and fully utilize like the CD-ROM, so you can store like cutscenes on it, like full like sound, like CD quality, like music and so on. So they went with PlayStation for Final Fantasy VII. Came out to huge critical acclaim. We'll get to some of the reviews a little bit later in the video here. But there was just great cutscenes in this. Let me actually bring up the thing I was looking at here really fast for Final Fantasy VII. Bring up those review scores in just a moment here. Let me get that ready. But came out to great reviews. The cutscenes were awesome. I remember seeing them, like commercials for them, like watching, like probably was like WWF at that time, like Raw's War or WCW Monday Nitro. Really great commercials for the game. One of my favorites was there's this tone where the guy's narrating, and it's like this super serious, like the fate of the world hangs in the balance kind of thing. And then it's like, and if you mess up, you could always hit the reset button. It was just kind of like a nice little joke there. I really like that commercial for it. The first game to go fully or somewhat fully 3D. They ran into issues with the CD material or CD medium at the time, like load screens and stuff like that. So we had to find creative ways to kind of hide the loading screen, so to speak. So that is kind of a drawback to CD. You have more storage. You can store like video and full audio and all that. But then of course you get load times on top of that. So it's kind of a drawback to that medium. I think it definitely outweighs the being able to just store more stuff. I think that definitely outweighs like the load times though. But they were initially talking about doing sprites on 3D backgrounds or going with the polygonal 3D models. They ended up choosing the 3D polygonal models. And I will say, when I load this game up, I'm going to start a new game. But the game has aged. I think it still has aged very well as far as gameplay goes. The only thing that kind of is a drawback is the graphics. But you're looking at like a game that's like 26 years old now at this point, I think. So graphics aren't the best, but the gameplay still holds up incredibly well. You had a great score, a great soundtrack by Nobu Uematsu. I think hopefully I'm pronouncing that name correctly. He's done a bunch of other Final Fantasy like scores and stuff like that. I remember having just a bunch of those scores on CD at one point. I have them right here somewhere, but I haven't dug them out for a while. But just great scores. We're actually going to bring up these review scores now, if I can pull them up. And basically came out to critical acclaim. So like Metacritic has it at a 92 out of 100. 1UP gave it an A+. We're going off the PlayStation scores. The scores for the PC version are slightly lower because I think they ported it to PC in the summer of 1998. Computer and Video Games has it at a 5 out of 5. Edge has it at 9 out of 10. EGM, Electronic Gaming Monthly, gave it a 38 out of 40. Famitsu, also 38 out of 40. Game Informer gave it a 9.75 out of 10. Game Fan gave it 300 out of 300 there. Looks like Game Master has it at a 96%. GameSpot at a 9.5 out of 10. IGN, 9.5 out of 10. Next Generation, 5 out of 5. 10 out of 10 from the official PlayStation US or PlayStation Magazine. That's the Australian one, as well as the official US PlayStation Magazine. American gave it a 5 out of 5 as well. Play has it at 94%, and those are our reviews there. Like again, one of the greatest shows up a lot on greatest video games of all time lists. I would definitely rank it on my, if I ever do like a top 100 games video or series at some point, which I don't know if I would ever be able to even know where to place stuff. Final Fantasy VII would definitely end up on that list. I don't exactly know where I would rank it, but it is definitely one of the greatest kind of video games of all time. I haven't played the remake. The remake is available on PC now, so I might check that out at some point because I don't have a PS. They didn't get a PS4 or a PS5. So haven't got around to playing the remake, but now that it's on Steam, I might check it out there. We are now going to jump over into our Final Fantasy VII gameplay. We're going to be starting up a new game in there and playing a little bit of it. Again, we are using the Steam version of it for the video, but again, I also own it on PS1 and on Switch as well. So we'll be right back with the gameplay. All right, hello and welcome back. We are now in Final Fantasy VII. So we are going to be starting a new game here. And you got your kind of opening cutscene here. And the cutscenes really, at the time, were just really groundbreaking. Video game graphics. Like I said, I remember seeing them in like commercials and just kind of being blown away. And I still think they look pretty good, given how kind of old they are. But yeah, let's go through this cutscene here. And I just love how it just zooms in and then it pans out into the city. It's an amazing introduction. And then yeah, it just, again, camera just pulls back and you get like the kind of like hustle and bustle of the city, which is just looks incredible. Got the reactors going there. All right, then it'll be zooming it up to the train. It will be starting the game here momentarily. All right, here we go. Got Avalanche jumping off of the train there. All right, here's our first encounter. A miss, all right. All right, gotta wait for the timer to refill. There we go. I don't know why. Yeah, there we go. Right, we'll just go with the default here. You can name your character whatever, but I always usually just go with the main name of the character. All right, there's Barrett. All right, another encounter. Alright, gonna get out the elevator now. Oh, I didn't want to go back in. Alright. Alright, another encounter. And now I think I got, yeah, now it's Cloud and Barret, alright? Alright, there's the iconic victory sound. I remember in the movie Advent Children, I think Tifa has that as like a ringtone on her phone. And for a while, that was my ringtone on my old... Let's say it was like an old LG flip phone back in the day. Alright, another encounter. Right, there we go. I think that's a save point right down there. Alright, we're saved. Another encounter. Alright, we got our limit break here. Alright, here we go. Looks like Cloud's limit is about to be reached as well. Alright, got it. Okay, let's see what we get. 2 Clyde is at 200 at 314. That's close enough. Let's keep doing some magic here. We did ice, let's do bolt now. Barret will attack. Alright, we got the limit breaks now. Alright, healed up Barret. Okay, let's heal. Okay, we should probably heal Barret again at some point. Okay, let's both limit breaks here. Alright, Barrett leveled up. Alright, cool. Let's do a battle here. We got, all right. So they got basically sneaked up on, whatever. All right, that guy's gonna get roasted with those shot, and Cloud can probably take this other guy out. Maybe not in one hit, but. All right, there we go. Oh no, no, don't go back. Alright. Alright, another encounter. That should be good. All right, elevator time. No, 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 don't go down. All right. Like 6 minutes left here. Right, that thing's down. That thing's down. One more shot on this and we should be good. Alright. Hopefully we'll have time to spare to get out. Alright, there we go. All right, and I think that is probably going to end it for this video. We'll be jumping back into our second cycle at 1998 coming up in a few days. So remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks again for watching. Take care and have a good one. See ya.